falling to her death.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Toby was trying to find every ounce to flex in that film.
I'm sure a lot of people like Far From Home, but I kind of was just, I was throughout the movie, I wasn't like invested in terms of like, I hope Peter can save the day. I just found myself getting irritated by the villain. Like, I personally was annoyed by Mysterio. I was like, can you stop it? I just want to watch Peter do his high school stuff, actually.
Yeah.
Which is not good. That's not good for a superhero movie at all, because you should be invested in what the villain's doing. But the villain was ticking me off. And it really pissed me off when he revealed his secret identity. Now, of course, you couldn't have that. We couldn't have No Way Home the way it was without that happening in Far From Home, but it was still annoying throughout that movie to watch Peter dealing with all this bullshit, especially that idiot kid that took a picture of him while he was in the bathroom. It's like, why is this in here? This is about to make me angry. I'm sorry.
Don't you get it? What if Peter Parker's saying is that everybody sucks to him? Everyone just does horrible stuff to him.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, oh, I feel bad for Peter. I feel like, why Peter, just beat these people up. Like, just beat them half to death. They'll leave you alone.
I'm sorry, but I would have let the drones just completely brutalize.
The drones thing is retarded, too. I mean, it's not smart. Like, Tony Stark, why on earth would you give him the possession of those type of things that could kill somebody?
Tony's off, though. We all know Tony. There's something wrong with that dude.
He almost got killed already. Why would you do that? It's dumb. Tony's retarded, bro. He should have taken that shit back. I mean, I know he was dead already. He was dead, right?
I love how everyone was just accepting that Spider-Man would be Tony Stark Jr.
Yeah, that's not the fans didn't accept it. I didn't accept that. I was like, man, Peter needs to be his own man. He shouldn't be sitting here writing sidekick to Iron Man. What are you talking about? There wouldn't be any Marvel Cinematic Universe if it wasn't for Spider-Man. Get the heck out of here.
That's right.
So I was very upset about that when I liked Homecoming, but that was one of the parts where he's just sitting there shitting on him. It's like, no, the grown-ups are talking. I'm like, who the fuck are you? And that doesn't really make any sense in terms of context in the movie, but in terms of the franchise, it's like, okay, you jackass, okay. Tony, you're like a loosely veiled rip-off of Batman. Can you get off of Peter's dick for a second, bro?
Alright, that's enough. That's enough of getting on Iron Man, you fuck.
Okay. What?
Iron Man has completely just had better movies than Batman's had, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, all Iron Man's movies are better than Batman and Robin. And you know what? And Batman Forever, too.
Yeah. And then Batman v Superman. And
then
the
God.
Justice League, minus the Snyder Cut, possibly.
But Batman has the Dark Knight. So it's kind of... It does balance out.
No, it doesn't. No.
Have you seen the Dark Knight recently?
Have you seen the entire complete cinema masterpiece that is the MCU that was started by Iron Man?
Okay, Ant-Man and the Wasp, not a masterpiece. Black Panther, not a masterpiece. Thor: Dark World, not a masterpiece. The first Thor, not a masterpiece. I can keep going. Iron Man 3, not a masterpiece. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you want to go like that, you're only counting like 3 fucking movies.
That was 5 movies.
No, I'm talking about 3 movies as the Dark Knight. That compares comparison to like that 18 movies.
Okay, the Dark Knight encapsule is better than like probably 75% of the MCU. There's only a few movies that are just as good or better than that.
That's not even true. All right, I'm gonna start off. This is my opinion, of course, but the whole Captain America trilogy is freaking gold. Let's start off there. Okay. That's 3 movies already.
Okay.
In my opinion,
the Captain America movies are good. Yeah. But none of the Hulk movies are. None of the Hulk movies are good. Not a single one of those.
Spider-Man's groundbreaking. But those aren't even in the MCU. Only one of those are. So shut your mouth. Spider-Man Far From Home, compared to what you say, actually is a very successful film and is also...
Oh, I'm talking about quality, bruh. Alright? The Dark Knight swept the Oscars. I mean, we got a dead man's performance here, and he's getting an Oscar for it. I think.
We got a dead man's performance in every single Marvel movie. His name is Stan Lee, Joshua. Have some respect.
I don't
the
really
Guardians
get...
of the Galaxy, groundbreaking.
Bruh, Stan Lee was in a strip club on Deadpool, bruh. I don't give a shit.
Amazing. That is amazing. Also, Deadpool also counts because he apparently is in the MCU.
Oh, hold on. It's okay. I guess we could give it to you that one because Sony and Disney are working together now. So
no, he literally has already been confirmed. So
that's gonna be pretty cool. But I still think The Dark Knight was better than a lot of that stuff. Like
also we're counting it. No Way Home has completely just blown out every single superhero movie that I've seen before in the past 10 years.
That's a good point. Now, I remember, you know that I agree with you on a lot of this, because I told you Spider-Man got bumped up to #1 earlier this month. Because, Batman has got a lot of garbage associated with it.
Yeah, he has too much garbage. The Dark Knight trilogy is great and all, but that's like saying Star Wars is better than Marvel. And I love Star Wars, but it's not.
Well, I would never say Star Wars is better than Marvel.
Yeah. At some point, you're going to hear someone who does. And I'm going to have to tell them I'm probably a bigger Star Wars fan than you. And I'm not even trying to stroke my own ego, but I probably am. And it's not better. It only has really 4 good movies.
But, okay, what exactly is your reasoning for why The Dark Knight and the themes discussed in that movie not, more important or more interesting to discuss than what's discussed in the Marvel movies? The Marvel movies are popcorn. They're not anything that's trying to make you think about anything,
But who really wants to think about anything in a superhero movie?
I mean, that's what movies are all about. I mean, the good movie, like the best movies. See, the thing is that The Dark Knight is not a popcorn movie. It's a film, on the level of the great movies.
Superhero movie, and if we're gonna go on that logic, Spider-Man 2002, the trilogy there, those are also cinema masterpieces.
Okay, well those are, but that's not the. Okay, it is the MCU now.
Yeah, but we're going by trilogy standpoints. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, I was talking about specifically The Dark Knight. I was not talking about Batman Begins and The Dark Knight Rises. I was talking specifically about that one movie. That movie right there.
That even makes it worse.
What are you talking about? That movie's literally the greatest superhero.
That's just one.
Okay, I mean, there's not very many Marvel movies that are better than that movie. All right, I could the first Avengers, maybe Civil War. Not better, maybe on the same level. Not better though. I can't be honest with myself and say that they're better.
I feel like they're better.
I didn't cry over Avengers. I didn't cry over any of those movies.
Well, that's good for you, I guess.
No, somebody in the comments said that. I've never cried over any movie ever, except for Toy Story 3, and I was 10. So.
Wow. Toy Story 3, huh?
Yeah. So, I look back at that scene in Toy Story 3 now, and it's kind of cringe, to be honest with you.
Is it the scene when Big Baby got thrown out of the window?
No, it's a scene where Andy's playing with a little girl in their front yard with these toys looking like a psychopath.
Joshua doesn't understand anymore. He's lost touch with reality.
This is cold.
Look, man, I like toys. I get these skulls and stuff all the time, and I got a head slug. What do you say, Yanni?
I have action figures. I have a Woody. I have Tigger. I have these things. I have lightsabers. I know what it is like to be a collector of these items that people consider toys.
Mm-hmm.
Yours are toys, but yours are more in a trinket thing.
Yeah, I do like trinkets.
I prefer things that you can let your imagination run wild with, if you can.
Well, Jonathan, you just stop motion work and stuff like that. Shameless plug.
What?
Shameless plug. Joke.
I thought you said shameless. But you are right.
Yeah. I will put it in the description.
Let's be honest.
Okay, what does this have to do with the superhero debate that we're having? Because I was actually invested in it.
I was just about to bring it back. I was about to say the main thing. But, anyway, as I was saying about the MCU, it's about people coming together and making a story that has gone on for 10 years. At a certain point in time. Of course, it's
Charlie. So hold on, Charlie. That's why he explicitly said, "I like the things that people call toys." Because saying "I like toys" as a grown man is embarrassing. But that's why he didn't say it like that. So you can fuck right off. Continue, Jonathan. Charlie's about to get banned from the chat. I'm just about to be done with Charlie and Daniel. He was a horrible cameraman. You're finished, Charlie. You're done. Get off the scene, Charlie. Get out. Get out of the chat, Charlie. If I see,
do I need to call human resources again?
Chris, can you go in there and ban Charlie? I'm gonna make you a mod, all right?
Yeah. Other stuff out of here.
Let's hear something. Let's hear Charlie say something else. He get banned for a month. Let's hear that. Let's see that.
Watch your get wiped from the face of the earth, bro. And I don't want to see no new account from Charlie.
That's what I thought, Charlie. Realize who's the man here. Who's the one running this shit.
You're about to get dusted, my boy. Keep playing.
All right, Jonathan. I know it's your bad. Yeah.
And even so even in the MCU movies that were underwhelming and okay, they still add to the story.
The next one
and take out certain aspects of it. That completely blows out the Dark Knight trilogy out of the water with the way they did that. Of course, it's not a trilogy, but now if I take this piece by piece, the Thor trilogy sucks for sure. The Captain America trilogy is gold. Iron Man's trilogy, I don't really count because Iron Man's story is literally the MCU. And Spider-Man's trilogy is fantastic.
It's pretty far removed from the MCU's main story, too. So
very. It's all enclosed. That's how Spider-Man always has been.
Yeah, but I gotta point out something, though. I don't think it's appropriate to compare literally an unprecedented creation. The only thing that you could possibly compare what the MCU has done is maybe to the Lord of the Rings and maybe Harry Potter. And then, of course, MCU is better than both of those and at doing what it did. Even though Harry Potter is pretty damn close. I watched that all at one go. That was really good. But
yeah, I've watched it multiple times, too, over the past couple of
years. There's not a really bad version of any of them. There's not a really bad Harry Potter movie. In terms of quality, all of them are of a similar length. Especially if you're invested in what's happening as he's growing up. But, of course, if you're invested in the story, which is it's not like a very well written story. It's almost a hodgepodge if you talk about the Marvel stuff with all the different things that's going on. And then you got really horrible stories that are going in there, like the Thor stuff. Like the Thor Ragnarok's the only good one in that whole trilogy.
And now Thor's having another movie. But the thing is about Thor's Ragnarok is that it's the catalyst and it's also the prelude to Infinity War. That boost is also. Thor is actually more. I wouldn't say Thor is actually a film. I would say that it's more of a world-building device to explain certain things in the Marvel universe that's happening. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy is that same way. It's just done like 40,000 million times better.
Okay, well, see, when I'm dealing with movies and stuff, I judge every single movie based on its own self. I can't judge an entire franchise because that wouldn't make any sense. It's not. You can't compare a franchise to one movie. It's not possible. You know.
What film would you compare The Dark Knight to in the Marvel universe?
I mean, if I compared it to every single movie, there would only be a few movies that could beat it. Is what I mean. That's a lot of quotes on beat it. You know, like I do think Infinity War is just as entertaining as The Dark Knight, but at the same time, with all the Marvel movies that have existed, I don't think that all of them are going to be thought of like the way The Dark Knight's been thought of for the last 10, 15 years. Mark Hamill's, not Mark Hamill, Heath Ledger's performance in that movie literally has scared people into thinking that there's some kind of a group of people that are out there that think just like the Joker. You know, the society itself has been warped by that film.
Yeah, but if we're going to go by that logic, Thanos' logic has been like, you've seen the YouTube comment sections. Thanos' logic has actually been approved by millions of people.
Okay, well, yeah, that's because it's more of an environmentalist point of view, which people already had that weird point of view. It wasn't so.
More about environmental. It's a universal realist point of view.
No, it can't be a realist point of view.
It has to. No. To his ideals, it seems realist. That's why I say universal realist. He's not just looking at our world; he's looking at the worlds around the galaxy that we've never seen before. Okay. So it's a universal realist point of view. He's talking about the universe, our universe in general. So from that standpoint, then Thanos isn't just looking at one little city with things going on. He's looking at a whole galaxy of people that have squandered their potential and have wasted resources. He's called the Mad Titan. He's crazy, but his idea makes sense. You know from what his point of view is. Mm-hmm. Now, Heath Ledger is don't you think do I look like a clown with a plan? He doesn't really give a fuck.
He's lying, though. Let's be honest. He had a plan.
He had a plan, but his plan was just like, let's fuck with Batman.
Oh, his
like,
plan was
chill
let's tear down society because of the arbitrary rules set in place don't make any sense or are almost hypocritical. And people are so selfish and ignorant and stupid that there really is no good reason why we should just let things be structured the way they are. These people shouldn't be meant to be the ones to tell people what to do. Well, that's the kind of stuff that he was trying to get people to think. You know? It wasn't about money. He wasn't just doing it for no reason. He had a point, you know?
Yeah, I feel like Thanos' whole ideal just seems stronger and more concrete.
Well, you know what? People are with the way the world is right now. People 100% resonate more with what the Joker is presenting in his movies than what Thanos presented.
I see.
Thanos is a fun villain, but I don't think people are going to be presenting his ideology as something that's actually worth. I mean, you've seen what's happened. You've seen what's happened with people following the Joker.
Actually, no. People have been trying to kill black people lately. So
what are you talking about? What are you talking about with black people getting killed, bro? What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I didn't say anything about black people getting killed, Joshua.
What did you say that?
I said, well, technically, from Thanos' point of view, their ideals end in the same way. Now, when it comes to Thanos, it seems more like a noble cause.
Wait, so who did you say was getting killed?
Like, just people in modern day. There's a lot of people getting killed lately, so it's just like, I guess I see where you're coming from when it comes to Joker's standpoint, because his way of breaking down society is like riots, basically chaos throughout the streets, blowing up hospitals.
Anarchy.
So I see where you're coming from, but Thanos kind of does the same exact thing, except he actually leaves people to pick up the pieces of that. Joker is going to just basically destroy everything. So they're both threats, of course. But
see, that's hold on. Someone in the chat. So we resonate with becoming clowns and killing people. Go back and watch the movie. All right, if you're gonna say some, I'm sorry. You need to go back and watch the film, because that is 100% like bare bones, really surface level looking at the point.
Right. That's why
we have an intellectual conversation here, and we get this. I'm just kidding, dog.
We talk about universal.
Okay, so here's a good point. So do you? Some people do resonate with becoming clowns and killing people because of last year. You know what happened with the running up into the Capitol building, which
that I was counting.
You know what? If you look at that, these people probably did watch like Joker and like Dark Knight and those movies, and were like, yeah, let's do it. Let's just go and do it. But then again, you can say the same thing about the riots that were happening, like even like a few months beforehand with the Black Lives Matter riots. So I guess, but you see my point, though. You see my point. If I'm just saying, I'm not saying that the Joker is 100% responsible for it, but the unrest, the civil unrest that's been happening in this country specifically, the Joker is a great outlet for that for people. You know, to the point where.
Kind of shares that same idealism in the same place,
mm-hmm.
which is actually kind of cool. But maybe you're right on that one. But the thing is that can we really compare Thanos with the Joker?
Well, no, the Joker is the greatest villain in film history, according to most people. I mean, I guess Darth Vader would be the only other person that people could say is the best, the greatest one, because of the layers and stuff associated with him.
I would consider Palpatine more of a better villain, even though he's more of a twirling mustache guy. His entire plan is beautiful in a way.
Yeah,
it's
I
evil,
guess. But the thing is that people associate greatness in terms of villains with their relatability, how much you resonate with the character, what you can, the humanity you can sort of squeeze out of them. Because obviously they're a horrible, evil person, but if you can understand where they're coming from and their plans, or you sympathize with what's happened to them as a result, you know, then that's what makes them a great villain. So, you know,
guess what? Palpatine's not even on the list of the greatest villains of all time.
Well, he wouldn't be, because nobody can relate to Palpatine. What he's doing is psychopathic. It doesn't make any sense.
Which is kind of baffling me in a way, but I also understand it, because some people see villains differently.
Yeah, I see villains that in the way that
Dr. Eggman would be on the list.
Who?
You know, Dr. Eggman. He's not going to be.
Dr. Eggman's not going to be on there. Like Bowser is going to be on the list. Yeah.
Bowser ain't going to be on the list unless you're a thirsty person stealing princesses and whatnot.
Is there a film version of Paradise Lost? And speaking of villains,
I think so.
Kristen, do you know what Paradise Lost is?
Is that a type of ice
Paradise
cream?
Lost.
No.
No, this.
I'm kidding. I don't know what that is.
Okay, it's a movie about the devil. It's a book about the devil. And it's he's like in a sympathetic role. I don't know.
Interesting.
It was really popular.
I actually have a story about the devil being in a sympathetic role on my Wattpad.
Lucifer's Dark World.
Wait, you know what it is?
I've read it. Yeah.
Is that good? That sounds kind of cringe.
I'm not gonna talk about it on the show. But
I started writing it in high school.
Oh wait, you wrote it, Chris.
Yes,
Yeah.
you wrote it.
Have you read Paradise Lost so you're not accidentally treading on other already?
She's not. I promise you, she's
It's not supposed to be like a serious story. It was like a fanfic. No, I don't know what that is.
It was still
It's basically about this girl. Can I tell you? The story is literally about this girl who gets taken to the underworld by the devil, and just to get on God's nerves, and basically heaven's trying to get her back. So all the angels are trying to find Lucifer, but Lucifer keeps putting all these traps to get them from basically finding her, and she develops Stockholm syndrome and all. A lot of it's kind of cringe. But I started writing it in high school.
Yeah, it was a fun read, for my opinion. Also, Lucifer is also a good one. If you're looking for a sympathetic, like, devils... Actually, I'm so sorry, chat, but there's, like, a show called Lucifer that's about Satan, and that he's more in a more human-like role.
Oh, yeah,
they had a cartoon episode with him being, like, in a cartoon world or something, and I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah?
Yeah, they
that
did.
Was one of the news. I didn't watch that. That sounds stupid.
And then I was like, I looked at the little moniker, I was like, this is the CW.
Oh, yeah.
And then I realized this is the reason why they got this crap on here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's like fan service for characters you don't care about.
Like that episode where the Flash turned into like a tap dancing fool with Supergirl and made me want to just stop watching the show.
I'm your super friend. Like, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at it. Where's Oliver Queen? Where's Oliver so we can have some fun? And Oliver talking like dumb. Can I watch that instead? I prefer that. Instead of seeing Supergirl and Barry act like they're in the Glee Club again.
Oh, God.
This is super disgusting. Y'all look disgusting.
Girl. She's been living.
I'm gonna have to ask you to shut up with that, man. Let me stop.
For as long as any blood can. I can't sing.
Now, at a villain standpoint, Dark Knight wins. But as a cinema masterpiece, I'm pretty sure the MCU wins, of course.
Yeah, but see, this is what I'm saying. Like, you gotta name one of the movies. Which movie do you think is a cinematic masterpiece compared to the Dark Knight? Because there are better movies than the Dark Knight out there. There's plenty of them.
Yeah. So compared to the Dark Knight, that's a tough one because there's so many I can actually choose from that I would actually fit.
Well, just name one. You don't have to do the best one out of it.
I'm gonna have to say Captain. Either the first Avenger or Winter Soldier. Probably Winter Soldier. Yeah.
All right. I haven't seen Winter Soldier in a few years. I thought you were going to say Civil War, but then again, Civil War has Civil
War is such a crossover movie. It's a really fan service movie, but it's actually really good. Captain America. The thing is that these trilogies work as trilogies. They connect with each other.
Yeah, but then that's not like a movie. That's like a
yeah.
It's like saying Fantasia's a movie. It's an experience. It's different.
The movies stand on their own, of course, rather well when it comes to the trilogies. Like Ragnarok stands better on its own than being with its actual trilogy. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna say Iron Man 1 stands better alone without its trilogy. But Captain America flows where you can interchange them like it's Mr. Potato Head. You can watch them all in together, or you can just watch Captain America Winter Soldier, or you can just watch Civil War, or you can watch Captain America The First Avenger. Because honestly, all these movies work well for what they were. So I could probably interchange any Captain America movie, except for the 1991. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, that movie sucks.
Like, just switch in and out, just compare it to the Dark Knight. Of course, this is my opinion.
So I'm gonna go on ahead and say, what about the Japanese Spider-Man movie that came out in the 70s? How's that one better than the Dark Knight?
That one's actually not. It's funny though. It's funny.
Did you guys know that there's a possibility that the Japanese Spider-Man series that came out of Japan during the 80s inspired Power Rangers?
Really?
That actually makes a lot of sense.
They had a mecha thing in there. Like Spider-Man would jump into a giant mecha suit on there.
Yep.
That's interesting.
It's very corny. It's a cheesy show. But
Yeah, but isn't that interesting though? Like, if there's a possibility if the Spider-Man didn't exist, that the Power Rangers wouldn't be what they are today. Which is weird. I don't like the Power Rangers at all, but that's just still an interesting piece of information. I'm more of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles type guy.
Yeah. Oh, Dark Knight. Yeah.
You know what's better than all the MCU movies though?
What?
Batman meets the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Shut up. So,
that movie, they were like, let's make the biggest crossover, and the Batman and the Teenage Mutant Turtles was like, yeah, we got this, bruh. You're like, this movie's bomb, bruh. That joint was an extravaganza right there.
More people than the MCU, but I don't know. When it comes to cinema buffs, it might win, but when it comes to like the everyday viewer, I'm pretty sure
there's a lot of mecha stuff in the Powerpuff Girls. But I feel like there was a mecha program beforehand that Craig McCracken saw specifically.
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry, someone in the chat said that did it inspire the Powerpuff Girls. It's like not specifically, but there is some mecha stuff that is in Powerpuff Girls, but I don't think it was from the Spider-Man thing. I think it might have been from a mecha series that was made in Japan beforehand.
Oh, like Evangelion? Let me stop.
Evangelion came out in the 90s, I think. So that's probably not it. Oh, no, it probably is. That's probably what inspired some of the mecha episodes on Powerpuff Girls, but I don't think it's the one that inspired, like, the weird way that Mojo Jojo looks. There was a green monkey or something on some Japanese TV show that he watched when he was younger. I gotta go back and look at those details. Matter of fact, I might do a video on the Jet Zero channel. Just shameless plug again, link in the description. I'm just kidding. About the different inspirations for the villains and characters on Powerpuff Girls and where they came from and which TV shows he got it from. Because almost every single character on there is a warped amalgamation of pieces of popular culture from when he was younger or something he grew up with, which I think is brilliant. That's real creativity there, in my opinion. I'm sorry this doesn't have anything to do with zombies or Marvel, but something I thought would be very interesting to bring up. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. You guys got anything else to say before we go ahead and close up shop?
No, we're just waiting for you to finish talking.
All right, I got about 20 more minutes of information to discuss. 20 more minutes of information to spew. Now I gotta mention real quick before we end the show, zombie. I'm just kidding. Asshole.
Hold on, but I was actually gonna say something. I can understand where you're coming from with the Dark Knight, and as an outside point of view, for like people that watch this show, I'm probably sure that you guys are gonna agree that the Dark Knight is the better superhero film. So I'm gonna go with that too. But personally, for me, I enjoy the MCU more than Captain America more than I enjoy the Dark Knight.
I am 100% sure that you're not the only one out there, because there is a divide in the superhero lexicon between DC nuts and Marvel nuts, and for a long time I was a DC guy, die-hard DC. I couldn't stand Marvel stuff at all.
One of those people. I didn't like Marvel stuff like that either. But you see, I used to.
Obviously, I've changed my mind. Obviously, I changed my mind, guys. Okay, you can see the hat. I wear this all the time.
I just love Marvel now. I don't know.
Spider-Man's Marvel. Spider-Man's G, man. Spider-Man is the GOAT. I'm sorry. Some people like to say Batman's better, but Batman's filmography is hot garbage compared to what Spider-Man's been able to produce. Even Spider-Man's bad content isn't even anywhere near as bad as what Batman put out. So there we go. Like Adam West Batman, that is shit.